Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe to the channel for regular content on ancient architecture, as well as all of the latest news from the world of archaeology. Wandering around the magnificent 11,500-year-old site of Karahan Tepe, and the size and scale of this ancient settlement is truly mind-blowing. Our eyes are immediately drawn to the large building AD and the enigmatic pillared enclosure AB, so it's easy to overlook some of the lesser known surrounding buildings. Not many people are aware that adjoining building AD to the northeast there is another sizeable building, and I've never seen anything quite like it in a pre-pottery Neolithic context. In function it's comparable to a modern kitchen. It has pillars around the perimeter, sometimes decorated and sometimes not, and these would have supported a roof. There is at least one animal sculpture inside, as we can see on the floor. The building has a limestone bedrock floor, and there is a bench on the northern side. On this bench was an incredible discovery: stacks of exquisite stone vessels. There are bowls and plates, large and small, some broken but most were complete. Directly opposite there is a hearth area with charred ashy patches on the ground. The feline animal sculpture faces the largest patch. When excavated, the burnt area was found to be rich in animal bones. I have to give a shout out to the Archaeologist's Laboratory channel who visited Karahan Tepe during last year's World Neolithic Congress, and he got the fantastic photos and video footage I'm showing in this video. You can watch his full video on his channel and you'll get to enjoy a full site tour. Now back to the kitchen, dated between 10 and 12,000 years old, and there are two large ovens that are built into the southern wall. The one on the right has been excavated, but the one on the left is still filled with sediment and rubble, to be carefully excavated sometime in the future. Interestingly, if you look at this picture closely, it looks as though the charred material emanates from the oven itself, probably from ancient people scraping it out thousands of years ago before cooking. According to some experts, these ovens were far too big for ordinary domestic use, so maybe they were used in communal activities, maybe to feed the gatherings of people in the large enclosure AD, and maybe that's why the kitchen is positioned next to it. Just looking back at the stone vessels, and they really are staggering, in terms of both quantity and quality. If you visit the amazing Llanlerth Museum, you can see pre-pottery Neolithic plates and vessels up close, and I personally find these everyday domestic objects fascinating. It's real social history, an insight into the everyday lives of the people that lived here. But the fact they are still stacked up in one specific area inside the kitchen really is quite a mystery. Even if you abandon a settlement, you'd think the people would have taken such objects with them. Carving bowls and plates out of stone would have been a time-consuming task, and as we can see, many are complete, and they could have been used for many generations that followed. It gives the impression the settlement was abandoned abruptly. But saying that, and Dr. Nesmi Carroll believes the building was ritually infilled when it went out of use, something that I don't personally subscribe to. The idea of people ritually infilling the buildings at Göbeklitepe in Karahan Tepe does add an element of mystique and wonder. Personally, I just don't buy it. If we look closely at the new large building that's been excavated at the top of the hill, and below the two fallen central pillars, we can see there are two layers of sediment, and this indicates the building was already abandoned and filling with sediment before the large central pillars tumbled. This building was not carefully filled in a ritual manner, else sediment would have been packed around the pillars to keep them standing. No, From the sediment under the pillars, we can speculate the building was already filling with sediment, and then sometime after the large central pillars collapsed, maybe a long time after. It's also worth adding that complete stone vessels were also found inside this building, again left in place on a small bench. This building also looks to be abandoned abruptly. The more I look at the pre-pottery Neolithic, the more I think the people were practical by nature. They were constantly reusing stone, taking pillars, stones and statues from older structures and using them to patch up others and also build new ones. We see this at both Göbeklitepe and Karahan Tepe. Old reliefs were sometimes rubbed out from the older pillars and new pictures were etched onto them. They don't seem to be a people intent on preserving their history. I get the feeling Karahan Tepe was abandoned somewhat abruptly, maybe due to a changing climate, a lack of sustenance, illness and disease, or maybe a new outside threat. There is still so much to be excavated at Karahan Tepe, and, in time, the answers may well become much clearer. It was amazing to be at this site last October and watch the excavations in progress, and I'm happy to say I'm going back again, this year in October. If you'd like to join me with NEXT and a group of like-minded people as we explore Göbeklitepe, Karahan Tepe, the amazing Şanlıurfa Museum, Çatalhöyük, the caves of Derinkuyu, the Hittite capital Hattusa, and watch sunset from Mount Nemrut, then you can sign up right now. Spaces are limited and I can't recommend it enough. My tour of Turkey in 2024 was incredible. The hotels and the food were both great, the people were really amazing, and the sights and experiences will live with me forever. So now I want to do it all over again. Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. I want to see how the excavations at Karahan Tepe are progressing 1 year on, and it will be great to do this with the viewers of the Ancient Architects channel. To sign up to this amazing tour, visit adeptexpeditions.com. I've left a link in the description below, and it's also in the pinned comment. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ancient Architects. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and please leave a comment below. Thank you very much.